The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hello 8th standard children, how are all of you? So last class I taught you about chemical changes, remember? I told you change is an integral part of our life, it is inevitable. See, few months back, even we did not imagine that we will have to do all this recording, editing. This is a new change for all of us. But it is only during this change that we learn the wings that we have in us. We discover the new, abilities that we have in us to adapt to that change. So unless there is a change, even we won't change to adapt ourselves. Change brings out the best in us. Now we are good at recording, editing. We had never done all this before. So change is always for the beautiful if we are always positive and do positive things in our life. So always be ready for challenges, my dear children. If there is a change, if God gives you an opportunity to change for the best, accept it. Accept that challenge and go for the best in your life. Unless you are ready to accept that change, life will always be stagnant. It will be monotonous. Every day doing the same thing. If you feel that passion in you, if you feel that you can do it, yes, if I accept it, I will reach my goal, go ahead, okay? So today, before I start the next topic, I'll just give you a quick recap of what I taught you in the last class. I told you changes are of three types: thermochemical, photochemical and electrochemical. Thermochemical deals with heat energy. Again, they are of two types: exothermic, endothermic. Exothermic means heat is given out, liberated or released. Endothermic means heat is absorbed. Then next is photochemical. It deals with light energy. Photo means related to light, okay. Then electrochemical, that is related to electrical energy, or electricity will be involved in that. The energy involved in electrochemical will be electricity. You will learn about it. So thermochemical, I taught you three experiments, remember. First one was magnesium plus hydrochloric acid. The test tube became hot after the reaction because heat was given out. Initially the test tube was not hot. Okay, so that is thermochemical, exothermic. Then the second one in the textbook was about potassium permanganate crystals. When I put those crystals in the test tube, no reaction will take place. But if I supply heat, when it absorbs the heat, it will decompose into three products. One of the product was oxygen. So when an incense stick was brought in front of that oxygen gas, when it comes out of the test tube, it flares. Right? Then the third one was neutralization. Acid plus alkali gives salt plus water. That is also thermochemical, exothermic, because the beaker turned hot after the reaction. Before the reaction, it was not hot. Where did that heat energy come from? It came after the reaction on its own, remember. We don't have to do anything. Heat energy automatically comes up. So it is thermochemical, exothermic. Right? Now I go on to the next type, that is photochemical reactions. Listen carefully, children. You are learning all this for the first time. So the next type of reactions or the changes, photochemical reactions. In that, the first one given in the book is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis, you have studied this right from the LP classes. You know what is photosynthesis, right? The process by which plants prepare their food with the help of their leaves is called photosynthesis. Leaves prepare food for the plants that you know. Now when our mother cooks biryani, she also needs many ingredients, right? Basmati rice and all the spices, ghee and all that. Similarly, for the leaves to prepare food, they too need some ingredients. What are those ingredients? First one is water. Water plus carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. We get, what are the products? These are the reactants. We get glucose plus oxygen, right? These are the products. So this is the reaction for photosynthesis. These are the reactants or the ingredients, and the products are glucose and oxygen. You know this. Then glucose is converted to starch and it is stored in the plant itself. So this reaction to take place, which energy was required? Sunlight. Unless they get sunlight, leaves cannot prepare their food. Leaves can prepare their food only if they get this sunlight. Light energy is very, very important. So here, what they do, they absorb the light energy. Understood? Appo photosynthesis parnal, leaves prepare their food. They need sunlight, that is, they absorb the light energy. Then after this, products are glucose and oxygen. You know, carbon dioxide is absorbed by the stomata and the leaves. And then after photosynthesis is carried out, oxygen gas is released. You have studied all this. So photochemical reactions, the first one given in the book is photosynthesis. This you already know, so I am not discussing it in detail. The only thing you have to remember is photochemical reaction example. If they ask you, you can write photosynthesis. Clear? Now, the next example given in the textbook is glowing of a firefly. The second example, glow of a firefly. Firefly പറഞ്ഞാൽ മിന്നാമിന്നി. You have seen it. ഇരുട്ടത്ത് പറക്കുമ്പോൾ ലൈറ്റ് കാണില്ലേ? From the body of the firefly, മിന്നാമിന്നിയുടെ ബോഡിയിൽ നിന്ന് light comes out. How does it come out? അത് എന്താ അങ്ങനെ ടോർച്ചും വെച്ചിട്ടാണോ ഇങ്ങനെ പറക്കണത്? No. It is because of the reaction that is taking place inside the body of the firefly. Okay? So, second example for photochemical reaction is glow of a firefly. Now, I will tell you what happens. The paragraph, there is a small para in the textbook. So, in that para, they have given about, discussed about the reaction that is taking place. Now, what happens is, oxygen that they take in combines with luciferin, a chemical that is present in their body, in the presence of an enzyme called luciferase, and oxyluciferin is produced. This will be there in the para, please read it. Just understand that light comes out because of a reaction that is taking place inside the body of the firefly. So, oxyluciferin is produced, and simultaneously along with this, light energy is also given out. 95% after this reaction, the energy that comes out, 95% of the energy is in the form of light, only 5% is heat. അപ്പോൾ കൂടുതൽ എന്താണ്? ലൈറ്റ് ആണ് പുറത്ത് വരുന്നത് after the reaction. So heat is only 5%, we can't feel it. പക്ഷെ ലൈറ്റ് കാണാൻ പറ്റുന്നത് എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ്? Because 95% of the energy that is produced after the reaction taking place inside its body is light energy. So light is visible when it flies. So this is also a photochemical reaction. Photo means light, okay? Light is involved. Remember, thermochemical, heat is involved. Photochemical, light is involved. So the first one was photosynthesis, light energy was absorbed. Second one, glow of a firefly. When a firefly flies, we can see light. It glows. Glows പറഞ്ഞാൽ എന്താ? ഇങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഷൈന് വരില്ലേ, തിളക്കം, ലൈറ്റുള്ള തിളക്കം, okay, glowing. So second example is glow of a firefly. If they ask you in the exam to write 2 or 3 examples, you can write this. Here light energy is given out. Understood? How it is produced? Because of the reaction that is taking place inside its body because of the production of oxyluciferin. Clear? Okay. Now, the third example that is given in the book is about a salt that turns black in sunlight. A salt called silver bromide. This salt turns black in sunlight. This is again related to light energy, children, sunlight. Now listen carefully. I'll just tell you what is given in the textbook, okay? We have to take 2 watch glasses, like this, 2 watch glasses. In both the watch glasses, we have to take yellow colored silver bromide powder, solid ana. So this will now contain yellow colored silver bromide powder, okay? This contains silver bromide. This is yellow in color. Clear? So take 2 watch glasses, put silver bromide in both the watch glasses. Now, one of the watch glasses we have to wrap it with a black paper. ഒരു watch glass ഇങ്ങനെ black paper കൊണ്ട് cover ചെയ്യാം. Now this is covered. Other watch glass must not be covered. Clear? 2 watch glass എടുത്തു, രണ്ടിലും silver bromide ഇട്ടു. One we covered with black colored paper, other one was left open. Now both the watch glasses we have to place it in sunlight, okay? Surya Prakasham. Now suppose this is the sun. Both the watch glasses we have to expose it to sunlight. ചൂട് സണ്ണിൻ്റെ ലൈറ്റ് തട്ടണം അവിടെ 2 watch glassനെ വയ്ക്കുക. After some time you will see that the color in one of the watch glasses might have changed. ആദ്യം ഇത് yellow ആയിരുന്നു. It turned black. In which watch glass do you think the change would have happened? ഇതിലാണോ ഇതിലാണോ? Any guesses? Yes. In this watch glass change takes place. Why? We are studying about photochemical reactions, so you must think, yeah, something related to light. This watch glass is exposed to sunlight. There is no cover, black paper illa, so it absorbs all the sunlight. And after absorbing the sunlight, what happens? Silver bromide decomposes. Remember, this word is very, very important. This word decomposes, you have to write, okay, if they ask you. So, silver bromide, children, I'll just write in short form so that you can easily understand. Silver bromide, it decomposes to silver and bromine gas. This is just for you to understand, okay? So silver bromide is yellow color. This is a symbol for silver, okay? And bromide, silver plus bromine we get, okay? Okay, I'll write it in full if you, otherwise you may get confused. Silver bromide, it changes to silver and bromine, decomposes. Silver bromide decomposes varnenda, it splits. Silver bromide is split out. Decompose means split. Enda it is split out? Silver and bromine. So this salt, which was yellow in color, now turns into black color deposition. ഇങ്ങനെ ഈ യെല്ലോ കളർ സോൾട്ട് നൗ ഇറ്റ് ചേഞ്ചസ് ടു ബ്ലാക്ക് കളർ ഇങ്ങനെ ഡെപ്പോസിറ്റ് ആവും ഈ വാച്ച് ഗ്ലാസ്സിൽ. ബിക്കോസ് bromine gas goes out after decomposition. Silver bromide absorbs the light energy from the sun. It decomposes to form silver and bromine gas is released. It goes out. Okay. So how did this reaction take place? Again I tell you, take 2 watch glasses, put silver bromide which is yellow in color, cover one of the glasses with black paper, other one don't cover it, leave it exposed to sunlight. This watch glass that contains silver bromide will absorb the light energy and it decomposes, splits to form silver and bromine. Silver will be deposited here, bromine automatically goes up because it is a gas. Only silver will remain and that is black in color, a grayish black substance. You know silver, right? Yeah. So this is the third example that is given in your textbook, a salt that turns black in sunlight here. This is the third example. Salt, why did it turn black in color? Because it absorbed the light energy of the sun. Clear? So photochemical 3 reactions are given. First one is photosynthesis, very easy. It absorbs light energy. What absorbs light energy? Leaves, yeah. Prepares the food. So their absorption takes place. Then the second absorption was this one. Silver bromide turning to black color silver due to the absorption of light energy. Then in between I taught you about glowing of a firefly. Their light energy was given out because of the reaction in the body. Our light released item. Understood? But here you don't have to write exophoto and endophoto. No, that is only for thermochemical, exothermic and endothermic. Here just understand where light is given out and in which reaction light is taken in. Clear? Did you understand the 3 photochemical reactions? Reaction in chemical changes that you are going to study is, I told you, electrochemical reactions. In the book there are 4 experiments, not experiments, setting up of an apparatus to show how electricity is released or it is absorbed. Now the third type of change that you are going to study is electrochemical reactions. First one was thermochemical. Second one was photochemical, third one electrochemical reactions. Electrochemical reactions, first one is about very important word that I am going to write on the board now, that is electrolysis. Electrolysis. Now sometimes some people they pronounce it as electrolysis, but I will pronounce in the way my teachers taught me, okay children? One and the same. You just have to understand what is electrolysis. Now in the book they have shown you an assembly of arrangement of some materials. That is called as an assembly, the apparatus that is required to carry out electrolysis. Have a look at the figure. And then I will teach you. This is very important because you are hearing all this for the first time. Now in electrochemical reactions, which energy is involved? Electrical energy. Electricity is involved. Okay? This is a simple illustration of what is shown in the textbook. This is a beaker. Listen carefully, you are studying this for the first time. What is electrolysis? This is a beaker or a glass jar. Okay? This contains blue colored copper sulfate solution. This is a short form for solution. Okay, you have to write it in full, children. This is very important. You have to write it in the file and draw the figure as well. Clear? Now before that, let me tell you what has to be written. I told you about the flow chart in the last class. Today also I taught you photochemical. You have to just write the 3 examples that are given in the, that was taught by me. And moreover, I have told you all the pink boxes that are there in the textbook related to the topic you have to enter in the file. Okay? Now listen, this is a glass jar. This contains copper sulfate solution, that is blue in color, remember. Liquid ആണ് copper sulfate solution. Now in this I have immersed two carbon rods. Okay. Now this is battery or a cell that you know, you have studied in 7th standard, and this is the switch. This is just a rough diagram, remember. Okay, for you to understand what is electrolysis. Very, very important, not only from the examination point of view, for higher classes standards also. Okay, so now what happens? First thing that I'll do is put the switch on. When I put the switch on, electricity starts flowing. When electricity starts flowing, it first reaches this carbon rods. Understood? Electricity flows, it reaches the carbon rods. From the carbon rods, the electricity is transferred to copper sulfate solution. Understood? ഒരിക്കൽ കൂടെ പറയാം. Switch on ചെയ്തു, electricity will pass, it will reach the carbon rods. From the rods, electricity ഇപ്പോൾ solutionലേക്ക് എത്തി. Now what happens? Reaction starts. Why reaction started? Because electrical energy has now reached this copper sulfate solution. Electricity now it has reached here. What will be the change? Two changes you can observe. First, there will be a change in this color, in the color of copper sulfate solution. Color of copper sulfate, that was blue, it will change. Okay, now carbon rods were black in color. Those rods now they turn brown in color because of the deposition of copper. ആദ്യം ഇത് ബ്ലാക്ക് കളർ ആയിരുന്നു. Reaction പോകുന്തോറും what happens? As long as we pass electricity, reaction will take place. When we stop passing, reaction also will stop, remember. So now the switch is on, reaction is taking place. These rods which were black in color, it turned brown. Why? Because this copper sulfate, remember, listen, copper sulfate, it absorbs the electrical energy and it decomposes or breaks into copper ions and sulfate ions. Two types of ions you will study later, positive ions and negative ions. So these copper ions, after they get broken from this solution, they deposit on the carbon rods automatically. We don't have to do anything. They themselves go and settle here. They start settling, outer coat wall, and they turn brown in color. Clear? The solution copper sulfate was blue. When we start passing electricity, or slowly it will become fair, color will change. Now children, it depends on the rods that we take, okay? If we take carbon rods, the color will be different. If we take graphite rods, the color will be different. So I am not insisting on which color. I'll just tell you that the color of copper sulfate will change from blue. And here carbon rods were black, it will change to brown. Understood? Why? Because copper sulfate decomposes to copper. I'll just, for you to understand, copper and sulfate ions. Later in higher classes you will study why this is positive and why this is negative. So this copper will settle on these rods. Understood? First it was black. If electricity was not passed, will the color change from black? No. Black ആയിരുന്നു. എന്തുകൊണ്ടാണ് അത് brown ആയത്? Because electricity reached the solution and it decomposes. So now my next question is, what is electrolysis then? Listen carefully. This is the assembly for electrolysis. The solution that we take to carry out this process, it is called as electrolyte. So in this case, what is the electrolyte? Copper sulfate solution. You can take any liquids as any solution, any other solution. For example, sodium chloride, copper nitrate, silver nitrate, anything that you wish as electrolyte. Okay. Understood? In this case, electrolyte is copper sulfate solution. Now, what is an electrolyte? Listen, the substance that decomposes by the absorption of electrical energy are called as electrolytes. Electrolytes എന്താണ്? ഇലക്ട്രിക്കൽ എനർജി അബ്സോർബ് ചെയ്തിട്ട് ഏത് സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആണോ ഡീകമ്പോസ് ആവണം ആ സൊല്യൂഷനെയാണ് ഇലക്ട്രോലൈറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയാം. ഹിയർ കോപ്പർ സൾഫേറ്റ് സൊല്യൂഷൻ ഈസ് ആൻ ഇലക്ട്രോലൈറ്റ്. വൈ? ബിക്കോസ് ഇറ്റ് അബ്സോർബ്സ് ദ ഇലക്ട്രിസിറ്റി ആൻഡ് ഡീകമ്പോസസ്. അണ്ടർസ്റ്റുഡ്? കോപ്പർ സൾഫേറ്റ് സൊല്യൂഷൻ ആണ് ഇലക്ട്രോലൈറ്റ് ഇവിടെ. So this is clear. Electrolyte, ഇവിടെ copper sulfate ആണ്. You can take any electrolyte that you wish. But other electricity absorb ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് decompose ആവും. Okay. Now these two carbon rods, they are called as electrodes. Okay. So these two carbon rods are called as electrodes and this solution is called as electrolyte. So what are electrodes? Electrodes are the rods that transfer electricity to the electrolyte. Confuse avanda. These two rods that transfer electricity to the electrolyte are called as electrodes. Appo teacher orikku kuda adyam thottu parayam. Switch on cheedu, electricity first reaches the electrodes. From the electrodes it is transferred to the electrolyte. Electrolyte will absorb the electrical energy, it will decompose. After decomposition, in this case, after it broke into copper and sulfate ions, copper starts depositing over this. Depositing vanna inde mele poi store out. So black color rods change to brown and the solution color also changes. All this happened only because of the absorption of electrical energy. Is it clear? So I told you this is very important. Write it in the file, draw the diagram, whatever I have taught you. You have to write what is electrolysis. Then you have to write what are electrodes. Electrodes are the rods that transfer electricity to the electrolyte. And what is an electrolyte? The substance that decomposes on the absorption, by the absorption of electrical energy. Okay, and as a whole, the process by which an electrolyte decomposes by absorbing electrical energy is called as electrolysis. So what is electrolysis? The process by which an electrolyte ആണ് ഒരു സബ്സ്റ്റൻസ് അല്ലേ ഡീകമ്പോസ് ആവുന്നത്. സോ electrolysis is the process by which an electrolyte decomposes by the absorption of electrical energy. So there are three more arrangement of the apparatus is there in the textbook. I think you will be confused. Just do a quick recap. First one, photosynthesis. Second one, glow of a firefly. Third one was a salt that turned black in sunlight. Remember, very, very important. Silver bromide decomposes and it turns into black color silver maatre baki undavullu on the watch glass. Then electrochemical, there are 4 experiments. The first one was electrolysis. This is the arrangement. Electrolysis means the process by which electrolyte decomposes by the absorption of electrical energy. Draw this in the file and whatever I have taught you in your own words you have to write. What will you write about the process that I have taught you now? Color change here, color change in the solution also is a must. Clear? Now, one thing that I would like to tell you that I would like to ask you. Why some medicines are stored in brown colored bottles? You might have seen medicines being stored in brown colored bottles. Why they are not stored in plain white colored glass? Why? What do you think will be the reason? Now you know. Because if it is plain white colored glass, sada glass, the light energy will enter the medicine and the composition of the medicine itself will change. Our medicine will become useless and our illness will not be cured. So our decomposition, to prevent the decomposition, adine tadukkan vendittana medicines ne brown colored bottles la store cheyana chela medicines. Understood? Medicines are stored in brown colored bottles only to prevent its decomposition if it absorbs light energy. Understood? Light energy വന്നിട്ട് ആ മെഡിസിനെ യൂസ്ലെസ് ആക്കും. അതുകൊണ്ടാണ് അത് ആവാണ്ടിരിക്കാൻ some medicines are sometimes stored in brown colored bottles. Is it clear? So this is all for today. Whatever I have taught you, keep watching the videos repeatedly. If you have any doubts, you can call me. And as I always tell, write the pink boxes, and whatever I tell you is important, especially electrolysis. All the reactions are important. You can just make a note, whatever I have taught you. For example, thermochemical, 3 examples. Photochemical, 3 examples. And electrochemical, 1 example I have taught you today. Clear? Now, remaining topics also will be covered within 2 classes. I think I'll be able to finish it, and then I'll discuss. Okay? Discuss the exercise. So, this is all for now. Bye. Thank you.